What's up, y'all? Now, Wendy, I sent you an invite to join my live. Did you get it?
Okay, hold
Because
on.
it's not gonna make sense if you over there on your live and I'm over here on my live. That ain't gonna make sense. Again, I want to say shout out to the Black Girl Follow Train. Thank you guys for joining
I'm
us this evening. Let me do it now. Oh God, we got an echo.
yeah.
Invite. I don't get the invite button. There
Here I
you go.
come.
Here you come. We got
Why am I
feedback.
not? Hold on, I'm gonna turn mine down.
Okay. Turn mine down a little bit too. All right. Welcome to the Size Up guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Wendy and I are here. Are you ain't gonna get on camera?
I'm trying to get on camera, so I'm
Oh,
listening.
okay. Um, welcome to the Size Up. This is our year-end review show, and we decided to turn it into a pajama jam. Yeah, I'm excited. I tell you guys, make sure you got your snacks. If you want to join in on any of the topics that we're going to be discussing this evening, go right ahead and do so. But I am super excited to be here. I don't know what this is telling me to do. Okay, super excited to be here. Thank you guys for joining us. Um, Update for the Size Up fans. I did have surgery, so I am doing this from my bed. I had surgery on December the 7th. I'm in recovery. I want to do kind of like a series on it because full disclosure, I had a hysterectomy because of health issues that went along with that, and I definitely want to sit down and kind of do a series on my experience with that. Um, and go from there. So be looking out for those videos about my experience and also just about, the disparities that we have in healthcare for Black women.
Hmm.
It's a big deal to me. I'm very passionate about discussing that and talking about it because a lot of people don't, a lot of people have those struggles, and a lot of Black women have had the struggles, especially with uterine fibroids and ovarian cancer and that sort of thing. And so a lot of times we have to make those decisions to, get rid of certain parts of our body so that we can go forth and be healthy. So shout out to my doctors and my surgeons that was with me. I hate that they canceled my follow-up appointment, but we back. So I don't
Yep.
have an alleged button on TikTok, but
Do the
although
alleged button here.
facts, yeah, let me put the alleged button over on StreamYard. Although these are facts, okay, these are definitely facts that we're about to discuss.
Let me
All
comment.
information is alleged. Um, so I just want to put that out there right now. All commentary is alleged. Um, we're gonna get started.
I
Um,
just no commented
on our live. Okay.
on our live.
I wish it was a way to pin it. I'm still learning. I'm gonna have to go to school for TikTok Live. I'm
Yeah,
super
me too.
excited that we're able to do this though. I'm so excited.
Hmm.
I'm so stoked. Okay. So we are talking about topics that happened over the year. We might miss some things because I couldn't think of everything. I tried to go back and jot it down. We have a whole podcast called The Size Up. If you guys would like, you can also follow us on our YouTube page, The Size Up Official Podcast. We have all of our live episodes are over there on YouTube. So make sure y'all hit us up and follow us, the Size Up Official Podcast. All right, here we go.
Here we
Um,
go. Here we go.
what we gonna start with? I'm gonna leave Tori for the end. Uh,
Okay.
you
Let's
want to?
start with the reality.
Let's start with reality. So there's a lot that happened this year. Jen Shaw got arrested on trial over there at the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for fraud and using, the if y'all remember the movie on Netflix called I Care a Lot, where the lady was scamming the older people in the nursing home. She kind of did that to a lot of older people and retirees through a marketing firm that she had. So it's alleged that Jen has made her millions and millions and millions of dollars off of scamming, and I do mean scamming, older people into getting certain products to probably help with certain things, and they've been out of thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right.
Um, there are a lot of scams that are out there, definitely. And I normally tell people with older parents, y'all excuse me, because I call myself muting my TV and I hear it. So I figured y'all might hear it. Let me turn it off. Let me do
I
this.
don't hear nothing, but that's okay. You good.
Oh, that's right. Oh, because I don't want to catch in the video and then, things be, muted. Um, so so Jen did that. I watched the report on the news and everything, and Jen has cried a river on Salt Lake City. Oh my
I am
God.
innocent. I am
I'm
innocent. I
innocent.
am not guilty.
Right. I'm not guilty. Jen, girl,
We know you did it.
you did it, sis. And it's okay. It's okay. But you did it, sis. You did it. Um,
Allegedly, you did it.
Allegedly, you did it. But in my opinion, I could give my opinion and can't nobody sue. I believe you did it. So, as a result of that, they had BravoCon this year. I think was this the first one since the pandemic? Because they hadn't had
Yeah.
BravoCon since before the pandemic. So this
Right.
is the first BravoCon since the pandemic, and it was epic. It was really, really nice to get to see it. You normally don't get to see BravoCon. You normally hear about it, in the streets or on the blogs. But we were able to see BravoCon this year, and was able to see it in its entirety on YouTube. Oh, it's a lot of scams there, Stacia. Oh Lord. I think Anastasia. Is it Anastasia? Okay.
It's Nurse Anastasia.
Nurse Anastasia said there's a lot of scams there in Salt Lake City. Wow. You would think.
But hold on. Did you hear about how her designer stuff is like counterfeit?
They did say that her designer stuff was counterfeit, which leads me to kind of believe. You remember when Meredith last season alluded to the fact that people were certain one of the designer stores, would not allow her to spend money, like she had to pay for her stuff in cash. You remember
No,
that?
they wouldn't let her spend cash.
Was it cash or they wouldn't
It
let
was
her use a credit
cash.
card?
It was
Okay.
cash.
Whatever it was, I don't know if it was Gucci or Louis Vuitton, but they had like literally banned her from, spending money in their establishment. Yes, y'all, my parents was scammed by a man who they were rent from. Oh no! Oh no! See,
Wow.
and that's what I'm talking about. Fraud and scam. That's crazy.
The tea that is poured.
Listen.
And I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. So Jen Shah, of course, she's married to Coach Shah, who's a coach. I don't know what school he coaches at. I don't know if it's University of Five families was moving from out of town, and we all showed up at the same time to move in. Lord, and you couldn't get your money back, I bet. That is crazy.
Wow.
That is absolutely insane.
Wow.
So Coach Shaw is a coach, but he's an assistant coach. It's not a head coach. I don't know what his salary is, but in my opinion, I don't think a coach's salary was going to be able to spend money on all of that house that they had, and they were renting. They did not own any of the houses. So just imagine what the rent is on those two big houses that they had. They had to downgrade, and their downgrade is really nice, but they had to downgrade their lives because her income was not a factor in their lifestyle anymore, which is totally and completely understandable. So that's crazy, man. Oh my God. The family's moving in from out of town, and Lord, that's crazy. So what I want to say is this. So Jen was not invited to BravoCon. She called herself showing up anyway. She showed up to BravoCon anyway, but she was not on the stage. But not only that,
She's not invited to the reunion.
She's not. No, it wasn't that she's not. It's not that she's not invited to the reunion. She decided. Well, was she not invited? Because she decided she wasn't going to attend. She put it on her page that she wasn't going to attend the reunion.
I think it came out first that she was not asked to come to the reunion.
Okay. Which makes sense. That makes sense.
So of course she's gonna save face and say, I decided not to come.
Right. So that's pretty interesting. How that is going on over there. This year we also saw the return of Phaedra to reality TV. Of course, she was on the show,
The Real Housewives of
what
the
other show did she do?
Trip.
She did another show, not Real Housewives. She did Dubai, but she did the couples thing. What's the one that comes on? I can't think right now. It's gonna come.
You mean Love and Marriage? I mean Love and the Marriage Boot Camp.
Yeah, did she do the Marriage Boot Camp?
But that was last year.
Was it last year? Okay, so I take that back. We saw her return to Bravo then. I returned to reality TV, but she was a friend of on Dubai. I did not get to really see her on Dubai because after a few episodes of Dubai, I could not.
I was like, y'all supposed to bring the juice. What's going on?
And let me say this, not saying that any of the other housewives shows are not fabulous, but it's Dubai. If you live in Dubai and you poor, you rich. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking this is going to
There's no crime in Dubai.
Right. It's no crime in Dubai. I'm thinking it's going to be fabulousness and this and that and third. And it was just the same old. So what I did like is that Phaedra is not completely fired from Bravo, although we all remember the rumors that, Portia repeated. Phaedra told her about
But wasn't that fed to Phaedra by a producer?
So
allegedly,
the curve is allegedly one of the producers shared that with Phaedra because they knew that Phaedra was going to tell it to Portia, and Portia was going to bring it out on the show. However, that producer that they claimed that did it, who is Carlos King, is stating that he didn't tell Phaedra or didn't give Phaedra that information. Well, word on the curb is Phaedra is now dating a doctor, and that she would now possibly be on Married to Medicine, which I feel like Married to Medicine. I personally feel like Married to Medicine is I felt like after this season, this should be the last season of Married to Medicine. That's just my opinion. Because it's too much. It's constantly it's the same old. It's the same beefs. It's the same noise. It's too much.
Then if that's the case, it's gonna be an end to a lot of the Bravo shows because it's the same beef, the same stuff.
Yeah. I just think they're going
we got a heart. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. I think it's is it Talia Marie?
Yes, I think so. Yes,
Thank you. Love.
So yeah, Lord, that echo, Jesus. Turn my thing down a little bit more. So I honestly, I don't know that I would like her on Married to Medicine. She's probably really cool with a lot of the ladies because they're all in Atlanta, and of course, a lot of the reality show women, they hang out in that area. So I don't know how I would feel about her on Married to Medicine. Personally, I don't know how I would feel.
Well, she makes for good TV. She makes for good TV.
She's a
so
reader.
It's going to be interesting. I don't know. I would love to see her read Quad because they both are here with the level of reads.
Yeah, they are.
So I would love
a little long-winded though.
Oh, girl.
Interesting. And then Nene wants to come back to Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I'm not gonna do that.
Let me say this.
It's
My
over. It is over.
favorite,
You done burned that bridge.
my favorite housewife of all times is Nene Lee. Wrong, right, or indifferent. I could say Nene was wrong in the situation, but she's my favorite. And she makes for good TV. She is
She
great
does.
for reality TV. And I feel like Nene Cross, so a lot of these chicks that are on these reality TV shows can walk. Just my thought process. Um, with that being said, I feel like I got to turn this down a little bit more. I gotta get some earbuds or something because I think that might be my issue. And I ain't got no type of headphones. But literally, I just feel like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not give Nene an opportunity to come back? Y'all, quote unquote, settled out of court, or maybe, I don't know, allegedly. Um, why not? I don't see the harm or the problem. Uh, I think the only reason would be is because of Andy. But here's the thing. Let me say this. Nene wasn't wrong. I don't care what anybody says. Nene didn't lie because Andy admitted to a lot of the things that Nene brought up in the lawsuit. Um, so I believe
And
Nene.
you and then you also got to think about the biases that she was talking about too, allegedly. How the racism and stuff is coming into play. It's coming into
Absolutely.
play because you can see in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills what Garcelle
Right.
Bouvet is going through with her son and how they did her in the reunion. I was like,
Absolutely.
you did not even acknowledge her hurt. You did
Period.
not acknowledge how hurt she was. And then
Period.
y'all wanted to laugh about the stuff in the garbage can, the book being in the garbage can, and it was
Yep.
Lisa Renner that did it, or not Erica. Who
Yep.
cares who did it? I mean, because y'all bought the book, number one, so it's y'all money. So you want to throw it away, you can throw it away.
You throw it away.
But just go over how Garcelle felt,
Yeah.
and I think Andy and Brian, the executives at Bravo, felt it from Twitter. Black Twitter
They should
was
have.
on their butts.
They should have. Um. So yeah, I really think that a lot of the stuff is coming out, and I think Nene was bold enough to do it. A lot of people don't receive the message from Nene because they talk a lot about how Nene has a bad attitude and how Nene's here and Nene's there, and Nene act like this and Nene act like that. And I think a lot of what Nene does is for camera and for ratings. That's what
Right.
I think. I think she plays the role that she plays. Just like, let me say this, Giselle. I'm gonna use Giselle as an example because we about to talk about the Green Eyed Bandits in just a second. I'm gonna use Giselle Bryant as an example. Giselle can do some of the most malicious and mean and cruel things to her castmates, bringing rumors to the forefront, repeating things, bringing it out on camera, trying to mess up people's families, destroy families, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody will say she's playing her part and she's doing her job. But if Nene does something, it's a problem. And to me, Nene is Real Housewife royalty. See the queen. Just my thought process behind it.
I do believe that if it wasn't for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the other franchises wouldn't get as much viewing as they
Absolutely
would
not.
have,
Absolutely.
because I watch all of the franchises.
I do
I'm in
not.
the middle now watching Miami, and I oh poor Lisa. Okay, I don't even want to get with that with her husband dumping her for a younger lady and telling
Mm.
her to get out the house. He need to find a house for her and her kids.
He put her out.
He putting her out, girl. He
Wow.
done, yeah, yeah. They said on the mic, I might be single in the next month or so. I was like, dang. And she's going around thinking that, her marriage is happy and everything and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, I watch all of the Housewives. I'm
Okay.
trying to get into Salt Lake this season. I'm not feeling this season. Be honest with you.
I don't like what I don't like about Salt Lake City is that they're all dumping on Heather Gay. I don't like that. And they're dumping on Heather They're dumping on Heather because of Whitney, and I don't like Whitney. Now, Whitney, let me say this, and I'm gonna leave this alone. Whitney's mad at Heather
For
because
not
Heather
backing
went
her
say,
up.
but Heather said I ain't heard the rumor,
Right.
and you're lying, but I'm not lying. I ain't heard the rumor. We was at a basketball game when this was repeated to us, right? So if we were at a basketball game when this was repeated to us. It's loud. I'm drunk. I'm acting a fool. Explain to me how I knew it's like it. So that's what she's mad about. And you repeated the rumor, Whitney. Heather did not. And I think that she deflated because, and then because Heather didn't back her up, it was the problem. That's what I think happened. So I don't like how they are ganging up on her because I like Heather. I literally like she's like one of my favorites on Salt Lake City.
Right.
So I like her. And maybe because she's a heavier girl, she deals with a lot of the same little insecurities and situations that the normal woman does. So I really, really like Heather because to me, out of all of them, she's the realest in my opinion. Um, but I don't like that. I don't like it. And I'm watching it. I might skip an episode or two so I can watch a couple of episodes back to back. But I'm watching it. So I'm okay with Salt Lake City. I can't get into Miami. I tried. I can't. I don't think I ever get into Jersey. I don't think I ever get into New York. I think I'm straight on the ones that I watch. I watch Potomac. I watch Atlanta. I just got into Beverly Hills just because of this season. Because when I saw that Garcelle was going to be on there, I was like, and then in the clips, I kept hearing her. Well, when you black, as a black woman, well, when you black, and I was like, so what I'm not gonna do is that, that first season, and I don't know how many times she mentioned that or said that on the first season because I didn't watch the first season that she was on there.
Yeah, because okay, this is what it was. Okay, so at the reunion, the first reunion Garcelle was on, Cal had a nerve to say that she never paid. She had that Garcelle said that she was going to donate to one of her charities, and she never paid. You don't. And Garcelle was like, "No, I paid." She said, "Don't do that. I paid." Yeah. And then she had to explain to her, "You just don't say that. You insinuating it because when you say that I did not pay, you're making it seem like since I'm a black woman, black people don't pay."
I got you.
Right. She had to do a lot of that because of, and then they always was telling her she was aggressive, like on Potomac, how they doing on Potomac, how some of the time Lisa, she can ask questions. Why you got to be so aggressive with the question? No, she's not aggressive, but Lisa can do F-bombs and get in face and cuss you out and everything. But nobody's saying that's passion when it's Lisa, but it's aggressive if it's Garcelle.
Right.
And they're not seeing it.
No, they're
because
not.
because Garcelle would just sit down, be like, okay, so this such and such and such and such. Why are you so aggressive with that? Why?
Well, let me tell you one housewife show that I do like that I just picked up on this year. The Real Housewives of Durban.
Okay, I gotta finish watching that.
I'm not having finished watching it either. But when I tell you I was here for it, I was here for it. Now, Durban is a well-to-do neighborhood or community in South Africa. I literally want to go visit. Because it's fabulous and it gives you that fabulousness, and all those women are like they in the money, you know what I'm saying? They're making money in their own right. So I like that. That's what I like to see. So I'm super excited about that show, and I feel like they need more seasons because I think they only have the 2 seasons. I want more of the Real Housewives of Durban. I love it. I love them. Mm-hmm. Okay, Green Eyed Bandits. Let's get on the Green Eyed Bandits real quick. Like, I don't like Giselle and Robin this season. I've never been really a big fan of Giselle's. She does her job. She plays her role on the Real Housewives of Potomac. She definitely does that.
She is the bone collector.
She is the bone collector and the myth starter, and all of that. Um, I liked Robin. Robin played kind of a back seat to Giselle,
I'm
but
gonna tell you about Robin.
um,
Robin was probably told, "Hey, if you don't amp it up, you better be either a friend of the show, demoted, or you ain't gonna be on the show. Period.
because this
Because
year I
she's
can't
doing the
with her.
most."
I can't with her. She is doing the absolute most for absolutely no reason. I simply cannot with Robin. Um, I did like the fact that she had a difference in opinion from Giselle about the Candace situation, about Chris. And she was like, girl, you doing the most. When you side eye your friend and say, friend, that ain't right. Friend,
Right,
you keep going on with the mess and continue with the mess. And she saw Candace. You could have called Candace before then. This was last season. This was months and months ago. And then you decide to bring it on the show now. So, as Candace say, not today, not today, Nick. Not today, ankles. Uh, not today. As Candace says, I don't like what they're doing and they're pulling straws. And let me say this, I am not okay with the drink throwing. A lot of people said it's not the same as the Monique and Candace situation because Monique actually beat Candace up. And I get the sentiment. I absolutely positively do.
and hold on, just to say this, we do not condone violence against other
Don't
people.
condone violence at all. Let me start by saying that. Okay. However, it's assault. You throw a drink in my face, that's assault. I'm
Mhm.
nothing that Wendy did.
Mm.
Nothing
All
that
she
Wendy
said,
did.
all Wendy Aselfo said was, "I don't know what you and your husband do, but me and my husband don't do that." And she just went crazy.
That's it. She ain't said
Mia
nothing about
went
your husband.
crazy.
None of the things about your husband was said until after you threw the drink. And let me say this: if you throw a drink at me, okay, you throw a drink at me, you
You
get hands. That is
don't we?
invitation for hands.
Eh.
I don't condone violence, but if you violate me, I have a right to defend myself. And the
Right.
fact, Robin, you're recording Wendy while she's going off on Mia, talking about stop antagonizing her. You're being aggressive. And she said, I didn't want her to lose her job. We ain't friends, girl. You don't care about my job. Stop.
And the way you did it was not a friendly type of
It
thing.
was not. It was not in a friendly way at all. Um, and there are colorism issues, I believe, on the show. I don't care what anybody says. You can say, well, no, it's not colorism issue. It's a colorism issue. Um, because whenever Wendy tries to defend herself, it's you're being aggressive, you're doing the most. And let me say this, Wendy is a bit much for me. I have only grown to really like Wendy this season because Wendy, well, actually, let me back up last season because when she read Giselle and Robin, I was here for it all. I
Because they was trying to come after her marriage. I'm
absolutely
like, y'all are some unhappy folks.
right, very much so. And so I just did not understand why. And of course, Robin and Wendy have made up. Now I don't know if that's gonna last. Not sure if that's gonna last.
I
Um,
don't think it's gonna last either. I give it 2 more seasons before Giselle and Robin break up their friendship.
I'm gonna give it one season because already Robin is kind of going against the grain with the Chris situation. Um, I just don't agree with how they're doing it. And Bravo is like, well, is it colorism? Do you guys feel like it's colorism? I did not
Of
like
course,
the
they're gonna say no. Of course, they're gonna say no.
you know. Um,
And did you see them on the Sherry Shepherd show?
I saw that. I did not like that interview at all. Um,
They want to make them seem like they
the
so
internet,
innocent.
the internet doesn't pay me.
Okay.
You
And
got
when
a
they said
podcast,
that,
sis. You
I'm
got
like,
a podcast.
hello, if you don't have that blue check mark on Twitter and Instagram, they that means they don't pay you, but you
Right,
got that blue check mark, so every content
right,
that you come out with, guess
right,
what, you're gonna get a check for it. So you
right.
need to be quiet,
Absolutely.
because those people, the people that you're talking about, they watch the show.
And they also listen to your podcast.
I don't listen to the podcast.
I don't. But there are people that do. There were like 40 people in the room when they had their live show. So,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
somebody listens to their podcast, okay?
Right.
Um, I don't definitely don't like how that's playing out over there. And I do feel like it's a colorism issue. I
Yeah.
think it was an issue with Monique.
Hmm.
You didn't like the fact that Monique was
Oh
happy.
man. The first season when Monique came, when Giselle said, "Are you homeless?" No, I have 5 homes, honey.
Right. And she was like, I was like, mm, mm, mm. Yeah,
Shut it down.
shut it
Shut
down,
it
sis.
all the way
Shut it all the
down.
way down. I think Bravo has a lot of cleaning up to do. The lawsuit with Nene brought a lot of stuff out. Again, I'm gonna say this: all commentary is alleged, but I believe Nene. A lot of people don't want to believe her because of her attitude and because of how she's acted, but I believe Nene.
And ever so often, I'm going to put it on the
That's fine.
comments.
Do what you
Okay.
do. It's streaming across the screen on our for our YouTube live and Facebook
And
live.
y'all join our YouTube page if you're watching from TikTok. Join
Type
our
it in.
YouTube.
Type it in if you can. If you
You
can.
can
If
do
you don't, I don't know how to girl.
it. Okay. Is it the size of podcast, right?
The Size Up Official Podcast on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow us. We have a podcast where we go live once a week on Sundays for the Size Up, and then we have another podcast where we talk about all things TV called Is On. So we will have our first official show for the new year on next Sunday and next Monday for the Size Up and for Is On. But it's gonna be on the Size Up Official Podcast page. So make sure y'all go out there and like that page, please, 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 please. Because
Subscribe,
we
hit the little bell, and also we do a show. It's on
right.
where we
I
talk
just
about things on TV.
yeah.
I'm talking to TikTok.
You on TikTok with me? You on your own TikTok?
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
to
no.
everybody.
I'm talking to TikTok. This is what we do, y'all. This is what we do.
We do. I mean, but I'm talking. I just said the same thing on TikTok. We on the same TikTok thing.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Okay.
make sure, definitely make sure y'all go like the page, hit the notification bell. Y'all help us. We two ladies who just learning how to do this thing right here.
Hey,
So
gotta start from somewhere.
we gotta start from somewhere. Um, so there were some couple breakups this year that happened. I'm gonna start with Tia and Corey Hard. Uh, a lot of people are speculating that Tia paid for everything because she had a more established career than Corey. Although Corey has let me say this,
He's
Corey,
been acting in a lot of B and C and D movies. So
I'm not even gonna say the movies. He's been on a lot of TV shows. If you look at that man's IMDb page, he has done a lot. Okay,
right.
not taking away. He did not have the backing and the support of his parents like Tia and Tamara had of their parents. So he kind of had to go at it, alone,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Just my thought process.
Mhm.
So, but
Mhm.
he's been acting just as long as they have, in my opinion. His career had not taken off like that because they had a nationally syndicated sitcom for years. It started on ABC and then they canceled it on ABC and moved over to WB. Um, and they had that going for many years. Then Tia got her another major sitcom role on The Game, which they've done the reboot. Have you seen the reboot of The Game? Anybody seen the reboot of The Game, y'all? I'm trying to see if it's worth it for me to go binge the first season because they have a second season on
You get
Paramount
Paramount Plus?
on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it because I just some things y'all. This is your second reboot of the show because it was canceled initially, and then there was a petition to bring the game back, and then the game was brought back, and then it got canceled again. And then because what did it go from? It was initially on uh
The
the
C
WB.
the CW, the WB. It was the no, it
It was
was UPN.
WNUPN, the CW, and when they did a reboot of a lot of things in a lot of the black shows. I think that's where black shows they gave them a platform, but eventually that's where black shows went to kind of die. And so from that standpoint, they were canceled and they didn't know what they were gonna do. You know, the show was canceled, that sort of thing. And then there was a petition to bring them back, and they were brought back on BET. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm correct, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Um, so this is the second reboot, in my opinion, of this show. The second reboot, I'm not okay with that. I feel like I need about 20, 30 years for y'all come back and try to do something else. Just my opinion. But keep the people paid. Keep a job. Do what you must and do what you have to do to keep your bread up. But I don't know that I'm interested in seeing the show. As much as I love Tasha Mack, I don't know that I'm interested in seeing the reboot of the game. But if anybody has seen the game, if y'all are on our lives, either one of our lives, go give me an honest opinion. What do you rate it from 1 to 10? What is your rating of the new reboot of the game if you've seen it? Um so we got that. And I got
Hmm.
off topic. So the rumor allegedly, back to T and Corey, was that Corey she was paying all the bills, and she might have gotten tired of it. There was also rumors out that he had cheated on her. That man
Allegedly.
had no clue that she was going to divorce him. Like I feel like he learned about it when we learned about it, because he was like, "What?"
Like this, and then also they were showing um when they was on Black Love,
Mm-hmm.
and she would, he would talk, and if she cut in, he would look at her kind of crazy, and she'd be quiet and stuff like that. They was trying to put him out as a narcissist allegedly.
I didn't get there from watching their thing.
I mean,
I
I'm
just
just saying the way that it was narrated, and stuff like that. And a lot of the TikTok was showing that on there,
I didn't
on
see
some
it. Well,
in some people's content.
right.
So
And I'm gonna say this: I didn't when I watched the Black Loves episodes
I'm
that they
so
were
sad
on.
it ain't coming on no more.
I know I'm very sad, especially the one couple where the young lady passed this year from her battle with cancer. Um, I I'm not going to say that I'm not gonna say that I felt that. I didn't get that. I don't know what y'all pointing out. Maybe there's a character flaw because Tia tends to talk a lot. If y'all have ever
Mhm.
seen Tia's reality show with her sister, if y'all ever seen Tia her YouTube,
Cooking.
baby, she talks. She's a talker, and she talks
Hmm.
a lot. She really, really does.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know if maybe he was like, well, you cut me off, because to me, why would you cut me off and I'm in the middle of a statement? That's a little rude. That might be something that they discussed. I don't know. I didn't gather that from that situation when I
But
watched
it
it.
was a lot. It was the way it was narrated it in, so
Right,
making him appear narcissistic.
right,
But I just believe that she was at a point where this is what I believe,
okay,
that she was at a point where she was always putting her family first, and she was not really happy, especially. And so now when she decide, okay, I'm going to put me first, because
right.
if I can't put me first, how can I take care of my family? And then she realized she wasn't really happy in her marriage anymore. This is what I'm thinking.
She probably wasn't happy in her marriage. I'm also going to go a step further with that. Not 100% Jada vibes, but that's like a Jada vibe-ish type of thing for me. Reason I'm saying that is because Remember that Jada took a step back to raise the kids. Will, and it was not Will's decision. Will didn't
Mhm.
say, I need you to stay at home with the kids. She made a decision that she didn't want nannies and people coming in to raise her kids, right? So because she made that decision, and I listened to his book on Audible, and then just watching the red table talk um they've done. Um oh wow. I have nobody snacks. My children don't love me. I'm in the bed. Ain't nobody said, let me fix you a plate of food. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Um, so I feel like um typically when we realize we're not happy in a situation, it becomes a problem, right? Um, you still hear it because you on TikTok, ma'am. That's why you looking like um. So I think and I think that's still Jada's problem. I don't think Jada happy with Will.
Okay. No, she ain't happy with
I
Will.
don't think she happy with Will. So
And Will ain't happy either. But he said, you know what? I ain't getting no divorce. We just gonna have to sleep in separate
because
rooms.
they look at divorce as a failure. Um,
But you know what? I'm sorry. My late husband was like that. He was like, hell, if we like this, we don't can't stand each other and in 20, 30 years, guess what? We ain't getting no divorce. We just sleeping in separate rooms.
I mean, you know what? A lot of old school people did that. Not saying that it was right, but a lot of old school people they did that. They one slept in the other room, the other one slept in another, and they were married for a gazillion years. But in order to make that situation work, that's kind of what they did.
And you
Um,
know, Dolly Parton got two houses on
Dolly
different
said,
parts of the.
"Listen, we ain't getting no divorce. If I get mad at him, I'm flying to California. I'm gonna leave him in Nashville, or he get mad at me, he fly to California, and leave me in Nashville." She said, "We ain't getting no divorce over here, and they've been married for 100 years. So you got to do what works for you."
Mhm.
Um, I do think that if she didn't give him the opportunity to make certain changes, if there was some things in a relationship that he was not giving her. And the
Mhm.
other thing is, you also got to think about this. He's also on a show now, on the nationally syndicated show now, All American Homecoming. He's on there, and he's one of the main characters on the show. He's one of the main cast members on the show. So with that being said, um, knowing that he has and that he got a job now. I don't know what CW money is versus BET money was or whatever. And then of course the sister is still in syndication on some channels. You might see they may do a marathon of sister. So they get residual income off of that.
And you can stream it.
And you also can stream it, absolutely. So I don't know if money was an issue. I don't know if she just wasn't happy. I do think that man found out about that divorce when we found out about the divorce. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say
Like
about that.
Chris Humphrey found out when Kim divorced him.
Right, like everybody else did. Just trifling. Um, Speaking of couples breaking up, do we want to talk about Kim and Kanye, or do we?
Well, you know, Kim and Kanye been broke up. They were separated last year.
They got separated last year, but this year was when the judge
But
granted her singledom, made her
well, not
single.
no, she was granted singledom last year too. They have finally got their divorce finalized because he has to pay her child support, even
Which
though
is
she.
crazy because how you leave how you look. I done lost all my money. You still a billionaire. I'm not. And I gotta pay child support. That's crazy. Um,
And now that it's a campaign going on saying he missing.
it is a campaign saying that Kanye's missing. I saw that. Um,
But but um but this is the year they was granted the divorce. Of course, she broke up with Pete Davidson.
mm,
They broke up. I knew that wasn't gonna last.
Definitely. Any rebound type of situation, this definitely not gonna last.
But no, that's all I want to talk about them.
Okay, we don't have to go any further. And then Tom Brady, Thomas. Let me start off by saying Tom. First of all, Tom said he was retiring from football. He gonna go to the house. He gonna be there with the kids. He gonna be there with Giselle. That was the plan. The plan was for me to be at the house and be with my family. Tom, people gave him retirement gifts.
Mm. Tom Brady, he was from home from retirement, hung out with the family, and he was like Merch and Candace when they was
F them
when
kids.
that F them kids. He said F them kids.
F them
He
kids.
going back. He said,
I'm
"No,
going
I
back.
can't
I
do
can't
this.
do it. I
I
can't.
can't do this."
No, I can't. Okay, so
He said, "F
F them
this."
kids. So, with that being said, since he said F them kids, he done went back to football, and that was the beginning of the end and the demise of that relationship. Giselle said, "Oh no, dog." Giselle took the kids to Belize, and they were there. And
And she
Tom was
got more
in.
money than he does.
Well, she stopped modeling though.
No, but still, even though her net worth is still more than his.
Oh, Tom, what are you gonna do, buddy?
And then it's alleged that she, you know, how
With
they like to
Antonio
say call,
Brown.
mm-mm, they like to call certain races witches, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how she and I think they had her saying how she manifests him winning all the games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now since the divorce, how they haven't been winning the game.
They
I
ain't been
said,
winning the games because he didn't expect Giselle to leave him. That's why he ain't been winning no
I
games.
said, Giselle done put a rut on him. If I walk out this house, you ain't gonna win
You
none
ain't gonna.
of the game.
She said,
All of this is
"Do
alleged.
you do right by me?
I'm being humorous,
Do
TikTok. I'm
you
just being
do you
humorous,
do right
okay?
by me?"
Ain't, ain't nothing you gonna do. It gonna succeed. You gonna fail it. You ain't gonna be able to pass no ball, no throw no ball. You be throwing fumbles. You gonna
Bubbles.
be
You
you
gonna be
gonna do
throwing
you be
picks, all picks.
picks and interceptions. You're gonna be throwing interceptions and
Man,
everything.
make it stop. Make it stop. All right. Well, they. It was really quick. That divorce happened real quick. It was quick, fast, and in a hurry. It happened. They got divorced. It was over with. I knew that was gonna happen because she did take a back seat to him. She stayed home. She held the house down while he went to go play football and do everything else he was doing. So I get it. I understand that one. Um,
Mhm.
Speaking of sports, we had some crazy situations that happened in sports this year. Shout out to the LA Rams for winning the Super Bowl this year. They beat out the Bengals. The Super Bowl halftime show was lit. We had Dr. Dre, we had Mary J. Blige, we had Eminem, we had Kendrick Lamar. I mean, it was
And
lit.
Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop Dogg crip walk on the Super Bowl stage. Um, definitely was the highlights of the Super Bowl. I think one of the best Super Bowl shows that they've had. And
Because of
so
course, most people don't only watch the Super Bowl for the commercials and the halftime show.
after halftime, if I kind of know the outcome of the game and it's not a good game, I kind of try to go on and turn it on to something else. That's just me. That's how I operate when it comes to the Super Bowl. Um, and so you got that situation that takes place and goes on. This phone hot to the mug. Oh, you got that situation that takes place and happens and goes on around Super Bowl time. But then you also have to take into consideration, um, you also have to take into consideration the game. You know, if it's a boring
Mm-hmm.
game, if it's a blowout, if other things are happening and taking place, that's not, you know, we want to make sure that I want to make sure that I am entertained in
Mm-hmm.
every aspect of the situation. So we are definitely entertained, and I'm super glad about that. And so this year, this upcoming year, Rihanna is going to be during the Super Bowl. I think that's gonna be interesting and nice. She ain't lost her baby weight, so she's gonna be real thick. She was already thick before she had the baby, but she's gonna be real thick on that stage doing her thing. I'm super excited to see her perform. But we had a really scandalous year in sports. Draymond Green decided he was gonna punch out his teammate. Uh, and he did.
See, you follow basketball like that. I don't.
Well, he he punched. Well, this was a story that happened all over the world, Craig. He punched that man. Did you not see the video?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, he was talking to Draymond Green, but he was across the room. Draymond Green ran from across the room and sucker punched that man in his face in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Unnecessary. You ain't have to do that. You know. Um, it wasn't cool. It was not right. And let me say this, Draymond Green, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
Draymond is he's a very physical player, and he's done some things in the NBA that has not been cool. To
Mm-hmm.
kind of, injure other players and do some certain things to other players on the floor. And I do follow basketball, so I do know how he plays. Good player, but a lot of times it's certain things that you you don't have to do to win, if that makes.
Right.
And he does a lot of illegal stuff that he either gets away with or he gets thrown out the game for. Okay. Um so I didn't think that that was cool. Of course, that was a big thing. They should have been worried about getting their rings for the ceremony, but this happened right before they got their rings for winning the NBA championship, where they beat out the Celtics in Game 6. Um, it overshadowed their moment, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely overshadowed their moment. Also, Brett Favre. Um,
Whoo, child.
so let's talk about Brett Favre real quick. Brett Favre is a football player, and he is a retired football player. Apparently he went to USM in his undergrad, if I'm not mistaken, and he wanted to do something to give back to his university. In the process of doing that, he got caught up in a welfare scandal where um he decided that he was going to use welfare funds to build a volleyball stadium or something like that, something to that effect. Um,
Come on.
they have the people on tape. They have him on tape talking about what they were going to do, the funds that were going to be used. They talked about that in grave detail. That was something that was discussed in grave detail. That was something that definitely took place. And he knows that he took that money. What is my problem with this situation? Brett, you need to go to jail. You need to pay them fuck their money back. He was also paid funds from the welfare money to speaking engagements, to do speaking engagements, right?
Let me mute
Uh,
this one. Okay.
and he did not do one speaking engagement, but he kept that money.
He sure did.
Dear Brett, find the money, give it back. But you also need to go to jail. The head of the welfare department is going to jail in Mississippi. They did find him guilty of
Mm-hmm.
misappropriating funds.
Mm-hmm.
The governor need to go to jail too. I just think the governor
Mm-hmm.
at that time needs to go to jail. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. I'm talking about millions of dollars that could have gone to people, recipients in the state of Mississippi to help them with, life. That's what
Right.
those funds are allotted for, not allotted for fancy gymnasiums for volleyball teams or for speaking engagements for people who want to speak. you know,
Mm-hmm.
or get a celebrity to come speak and you pay them all this money and they don't do what they need to do. I think that was really, really whack. I think that was crazy. And I don't think it was cool. Um Brett Favre, you need to go to jail. 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 Go to jail, Brett Favre. Straight to jail. Don't pay us go. Don't collect $200. If you have him on tape, he knows what he did. He did it. I didn't know that that's what they were for. That's what y'all was talking about. You knew. You knew. You knew what you was doing. You
You
need to go.
know,
And
but you know why he got a pass, though. We don't need to say why,
oh
but
no,
it's
we don't need
clearly
it's unspoken,
it's it's unspoken why he got a pass.
but we know why.
Yeah.
We know why. We know why. We know why. So, oh Lord, something launched on this poor computer. Hold on. I'm having to use my son's laptop. One day I'm gonna learn how to use my Apple laptop, Jesus. I don't know how to use it. Things are just popping up, Jesus. All right. So Kyrie Irving made did a repost of a movie about the black Jews or the Israelite black Israelites or whatever you want to call them. There was a movie that was put out on Amazon, and Kyrie got suspended playing. I think he plays for the Brooklyn Nets. He got suspended from the team. All he did was share the movie. He said he doesn't agree with everything that was said in the movie. He's not in agreement with everything. He has some of the beliefs, but not all of the beliefs. But Jews all over the world got upset and got mad. Um, Kyrie had to do some diversity training. He had to do a lot of things in order to get back into the fold because, first of all, they demanded an apology immediately. He didn't apologize immediately. And when he apologized, that wasn't enough. So they gave him all these demands. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
that he had to fulfill all of the demands. Um, I only heard of him donating money to a Jewish organization, but I don't know that all of the demands were fulfilled. The reason why I don't know if they were all fulfilled because I feel like they would have said, "Well, Kyrie did this, that, and in the third." They did let him come back to the basketball court, but he did not. The games he was suspended for, he did not get paid for.
Mm-hmm.
But they want me to donate all this money. Okay, that's fine. I don't think that that was right. I think that they have morality clauses, but I think that those clauses that they have and those things that they have in place for a lot of the teams are things to disparage or to go against us. There are a lot of white players that are still playing in the NFL. I'm going to use that for an example that have been accused of rape, domestic violence, different things. They have to damn near murder somebody, in order for the NFL to be like, well, he got locked up, so he can't play. But if a black person gets into a sticky situation, I'm gonna use Mike Vick as an example. I don't think Mike Vick was fighting them dogs. I think Pookie and Ray Ray them, his cousins, was fighting them dogs. I don't even think Michael Vick was there. But because Michael Vick's name was attached to it, I think that that's why he got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I say this all the time. Pookie and Ray Ray can't always go to the top with you. A
Right.
lot of people, a lot of people want to take your cousin and them with you to the top.
Can't do it all the
You
time.
can't, everybody can't go with you. Your homeboy that was on the block with you from day one. It's cool to put your friends in high places and to do certain things. But Pookie and Ray Ray, and you know who Pookie and Ray Ray is. Pookie and Ray Ray is the one that's gonna mess up. They're gonna be your janky promoters. They're gonna be the
Just
ones that's gonna get you in trouble if something goes down or something goes awry, and they're gonna hide their hands, but the rocks done been thrown. Those
and
are the
just think about it like this, and also think about MC Hammer.
oh yeah.
MC Hammer try to bring everybody and their mama with him.
He felt like he was responsible for everybody. He paid big salaries for everybody on his team. His dancers, all them dancers he had, all those people that he had on his team, following him all over the place, doing this, that, and the third. He did that. It was pretty crazy. And he had a big salary. He was spending all this money out, and did not have control of that situation because you tried to pay for everybody. And when he had to file for bankruptcy, all of those people that he had on his payroll was going on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunate, but this the world we live in.
Yeah.
Um, I am a I am a graduate of Jackson State University, and over the last few years, we had a coach uh there in the name of Coach Prime. And I have very strong feelings about this, but let's go. Let's discuss it. He on the list. Coach Prime left Jackson State and is going or has gone on to a bigger contract with Colorado, whoever, the Rockies, whomever they are. He's at Colorado now as their head coach. He brought some of the coaching staff from Jackson State over to Colorado. Not only did he bring some of the coaching staff over, he also has taken some of our players, his two sons, Travis Hunter, and some other players. Our kicker went. They went. Um, and I have no problem with the brother elevating his life. He got a 29.5 million contract over 5 years. Um, he got other options and other things that go along with it, incentives that go along with it. He'll get a certain amount of money if he wins bowl games, that sort of thing. Um, Coach Prime had to prove himself, and he had to have an opportunity to do that. So what he did was he came to Jackson State, and
Mm-hmm.
we're very grateful, extremely grateful for what he did for Jackson State. Absolutely, I'm not gonna ever take that away from him. You came in and you did your thing. However, what I don't respect about the situation is the way in which or the manner in which you left. Now, let me say this. I understand you got to paint a picture, you got to tell a story, you got to sell yourself constantly as a coach of a university. All coaches at universities, their goal is not to be there for 20, 30 years. Like the guy at Mississippi State that just passed, he had been in Mississippi State as the head coach for like 20 something, 26 years. Uh, I'm not gonna. I understand. We had the understanding with Coach Prime that he was there for a good time, but not a long time, and we understood that.
Mm-hmm.
But to have the SWAC championship, which we were getting ready to play, and his message or his coaching was overshadowed by or being overshadowed by um was overshadowing that week leading up to the championship. His decision to leave and to go to Colorado also um hindered some things. And I really feel like I don't know what you're saying. I'm recording. Go ask the person in there. Um and it was overshadowed, and I really feel like the Celebration Bowl was lost for two reasons. One, you don't put a player that ain't played a day. You don't put a player in that got the same record that I do, and I ain't never played a day of football in my life. You don't put them in at the last hour. You use your trusty people that's definitely gonna be there. You use those people, and you use the people that you know that can get the job done. You ain't gonna put them in there. I don't agree with the death threats that they sent to that young man and his family because he dropped the ball. He definitely dropped the ball. I was really upset with him for that. But Jackson State dropped the ball, and the coaching is what lacked at that point in juncture. Um, so he didn't get this. He didn't win the Celebration Bowl, and I think the Celebration Bowl is important, because that's our HBCU championship, right? So it's definitely important for us to do that and be there and be in that light. A lot of people had a great time. I was super excited about it. I still don't agree with how he left. You could have
Mm-hmm.
left. You could have left. You could have done what you did. and went to Colorado, signed your contract, whatever. Jackson State knew what was going on, and y'all could have made the announcement after those babies played. That's my thought process. I understand the portal is open and all this stuff, but they weren't good. They could have entered the portal or not entered the portal because a lot of them didn't enter the portal until after they played the Celebration Bowl. So there was not, to me, that wasn't the time to do that. Y'all should have won the games. You should have had that on their hearts and their minds to do what needs to be done. I think they're, we give everybody a chance. We give everybody an opportunity. HBCUs don't discriminate. People from all nationalities, all races, all creeds, backgrounds, everything attend HBCUs. Everybody. It's just predominantly black. Okay. But for the most part, we got white, we got Latino, we got Asian, we got all kinds of nationalities that come to our school, and they come and they do their thing. And we're super excited to accept them, to allow them to come through, to be a part of our Mecca, if you will. We have no problem with that. I'm glad that he got some notoriety to Jackson State. We're doing well in recruitment. We recruited some nice people. Some people came out of the portal and came on back. They still got a little bit of time. Like, I think the portal closes January the 5th, because a lot of the kids that thought that Coach Prime was taking them with him, they were in for a rude awakening, because
Mm.
quite a few of our players entered the portal, and quite a few of our players got a rude awakening because Prime didn't take them with him. Period. So my thought process behind that is that we gotta, when we got a coach, we got TC Taylor now. I'm excited about him. He played for Jackson State. He's an alumni of Jackson State. Those are the people. I'm okay with the NFL players coming and doing their thing if they want to get into coaching. We need a solid contract for them. That's how I feel. If the agreement is 3 years, the agreement is 4 years. If it's 5 years, they need to play out their thing. But I understand that contracts can be bought out. I do understand it. But you did a little bit of work in comparison to the work that's needed at HBCUs. We can't offer. There's no way we could have competed with what Colorado, because a lot of people would, Jackson State should have offered more money. There is no way
Mm-mm.
that we can compete with the Colorado, because we are an HBCU. There is
Right.
a better situation than the Colorado situation. We should be able to, but we don't have the same backing. We don't have the same funding. Our boosters are not donating to the school like the boosters are donating. It's a different ball game, and it's a different playing field, if you will. Um, so that's how I feel about the Prime situation. Wendy, I know you had a lot to say about it. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, at first I thought it was dirty. I really did, because I was really thinking on the part. Okay, you snatched them out of the Southern Heritage Classic. Well, you know more about all of that though. But
I'm
I'm
gonna talk
like,
about Southern Heritage. I'm gonna talk about Southern Heritage because I need to reiterate my feelings on that. Keep going.
and then I kind of compared him to Calipari. But then when we talked, I understand why it was a difference.
It's a different.
However, I thought it was still the same because he, after we won second place, we didn't win second place. We didn't win the NC the championships. We lost to Kansas.
Right.
And after what he did, it wiped all of our history of that year, just like we never won.
Absolutely. Because he cheated. So the difference in Prime and Calipari is Calipari cheated. Calipari got somebody, they claim it was allegedly Derrick Rose's brother, to take his standardized test for him. Um, he took the standardized test for his brother. That's what got him at the University of Memphis. Derrick Rose was only at the University of Memphis for that year because the following year Derrick Rose got drafted to the NBA. He was going to be drafted to the NBA anyway. He should have been drafted out of high school. However, the situation was they put the dumb rule in place at the time that you had to be 19 to be drafted. I don't know if you remember that rule or not, but they put
I
that
remember.
rule in place that the you had to be 19 in order to be drafted into the NBA. And so otherwise Derrick Rose would have never been to University of Memphis, would have never came to our school. He would have never had to take a standardized, well, he might have had to take a standardized test to graduate, but he would have never had to go through all of that had the NBA went ahead and was able to go ahead and just draft him, you know what I'm saying, into the NBA. So because Calipari cheated, and from my understanding, that was not the first time Calipari had cheated.
Mm-mm.
Calipari had cheated when he was up north somewhere, and that's when he got the offer at Kentucky. I don't know what the deal was with Kentucky because Calipari is a good coach. I'm not gonna ever take that away from him. But you left us in the lurch. We had to give back all of our accolades. We had to erase everything at the University of Memphis, everything that those boys worked for, the games that they played, and they played really, really good. They got all the way to the end. They didn't make it. Very close game, nail biter. But that, but then on top of that, not only that, you gonna leave right after everything goes done. You weren't you weren't reprimanded for that properly. You just got ghost. Okay. So that's the difference in the Calipari and Prime situation. Prime didn't leave because he was cheating or he put us in a bad situation. He actually put us in a very good situation because more kids are knowing and wanting to come to HBCUs. And I'm okay with that. There we get a lot of recruits, not just Jackson State got a lot of great contenders, 3-star, 4-star athletes. Uh Grambling got some 3-star, 4-star athletes. Southern got some 3-star, 4-star athletes. FAMU got some 3-star, 4-star athletes. So it brought light, and we're very appreciative. Please don't get me wrong, but it's a way to do things, and I don't like that. Let's talk about the Southern Heritage Classic real quick.
Yeah.
The Southern Heritage Classic is a pimp situation. You are pimping those black schools, okay? Those schools, the money that the Southern Heritage Classic brings in as an organization. I ain't talking about the businesses in the community. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what that game itself brings in revenue wise to the Southern Heritage Classic. A lot of the stuff the Southern Heritage Classic organization don't have to pay for because they have sponsors. Sponsors
Right.
pay for it, and they're advertised as a result of that. It's a partnership that they have. So Fred Jones, who is the head of the Southern Heritage Classic, is a gazillionaire from this one event. That man does not have to work at all. He just has this 1 week, and they prepare for it. You know, they start working on it in advance, definitely. But this is his only job. For many, many years, each school was getting $50,000 a piece to come and play in the Southern Heritage Classic. Until the last probably 5 years, 5 or 6 years, they upped the ante to the schools getting the schools getting 300,000 total. The football teams gets 250, and it's $50,000 for the band. The bands were not paid at all for many, many years. So there's no equity for each school to be in there. Yeah, FedEx donates $1 million to each team each year. That's cute. FedEx can do that. They could donate that money at any time to either one of those schools at any time. They got all types of partnerships, internship programs, everything with FedEx and many other corporate companies across the nation. Each school, and I'm gonna say this, TSU don't need to play in the Southern Heritage Classic either, because basically what you are doing is getting kibble and bits.
Yes.
It's business. And for that man to be upset, I get they broke the contract or whatever, but contracts are meant to be broken. And we got a legal team, and you best believe that the legal team found the loophole for them to get out of that contract. Period. Period. Our president of the university has a law degree.
And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
And that is on Mary Had a Very Little Lamb. Do you understand me? So We got to think about when these black schools go play these games and they don't get the money, what it takes to travel, the cost. That $250,000 was ate up from them just coming down here to play their game.
Mm-hmm.
The players got to be fed. They got to be put up in hotels. They got to travel.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making no money off of their game. So they
And just
found
think
another
about the millions of dollars that's coming in revenue
kid.
for and
Just the
I'm like, come on.
organization. Just the org. So you mean tell me you can't spare $1 million per school? You can't give $1 million per school, and the reason why you having a game is because of these football players. No. So they played this year in the Southern Heritage Classic. Jackson State won. Yay, us. But they found another classic that was going to give them equity in ticket sales, right? So they get 300,000 for the football team, maybe the 50,000 for the bands, and then they get a percentage of the ticket sales coming in. So at this point, it's up to the schools and the promoters of the game to sell that classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that those tickets can be sold and those tickets can be sold out. That's what it is. That's all it is. So what I said as far as the what I said as far as the game is concerned, they can find another HBCU to play. We got plenty of them right around here. They can find another HBCU to play. They absolutely could, and they did. They found UAPB. So UAPB is gonna come and play for Kibbles and Bits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, along with TSU. And my issue with that is that TSU has a housing issue. Right now, there are students that I know that are living
It's
in
not just
hotels.
TSU. It's a lot of the HBCUs got
No, no,
housing
no.
issues.
But I'm just talking about specifically these two schools.
Okay.
Jackson was going through a water crisis. Okay.
Oh yeah.
They had to provide water bottles for students on campus, for those football players. You saw on 60 Minutes, and I'm gonna talk about that too, because there's a lot of stuff that is perception, and there's a lot of stuff that are facts. Okay. You saw on the 60-minute interview, Coach Prime took a bath in the pool. They showed that right on the 60 Minutes interview. A lot of people, he's having to take baths in the hotel pool. I said, if y'all think Coach Prime stayed in Jackson city limits, you are sadly mistaken. We just had to go through a boil advisory here in Memphis, and everybody, we are from Memphis, Tennessee. We had to go through a boil advisory here in Memphis because the winter weather caused a lot of our mains to break. It caused issues with the water pressure, that sort of thing. Bartlett was not affected by that. Germantown was not affected by that. None of the surrounding areas that have their own
Yeah.
water system was
Yeah, we
not
wasn't
affected by
affected. Even though we were Memphis, we still had like the Bartlett water.
that. Correct. So Coach Prime, that big old house that y'all see on the internet that he was staying in Mississippi, that was not in Jackson city limits. He might have stayed in Canton. He probably stayed in Byram. He stayed in the outskirts, Lakeland. There are outskirts in Jackson, just like, oops, I done dropped my phone. Outskirts in Jackson, just like I done dropped my phone. I'm trying to make this work, man. I gotta
Yeah,
I gotta get my social media stuff up together. But
yeah.
um he stayed on the outskirts of the city, so his water was not affected. So that man got in that pool, fronting like he was taking a bath in the pool. You had already took your shower at the house. Stop. Stop. You took your shower at the house. You don't stay in Jackson, dog? With all that land, you ain't stayed in Jackson? Stop. You stayed on the outskirts, sir. And that's what I'm talking about. The misconception. They owe me money. They don't owe you money. As a matter of fact, Colorado bought out your contract, sir. What money is owed to you? Stop.
You know he all about money. You know all
And
that
I
now.
get that. It's fine to be about your brand. I'm all for it. It's the manner in which you left. That was, in my opinion, that was not cool. Period.
Yeah.
It was. It was. You want to talk about little crazy Herschel real quick?
Oh, girl, I can talk about how dumb he is.
Y'all, this year,
Okay.
Herschel Walker decided that no, we almost halfway through this list. We ain't gonna do no part two. We good.
Okay, how long we
Uh,
gonna be? Because I'm tired.
I'm tired too, but I think we good. I really think we
Okay.
good because we getting through this list. We are. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Papa.
Herschel Walker decided that he can do anything that he wants to do.
No, 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 no. I wouldn't
Be
say that. I would not say that. I would say that the puppet masters told him to run for it
oh,
because
I believe that.
he was a resident of Texas.
Yes, he was.
So they was like, um, well, if they want a person of color to be in the office, let us pick a person of color and
Yeah,
let him get into office.
yeah,
Because all I can see, if he would have won that election, all I can imagine him is in the Senate House coloring in coloring books.
yep. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Coloring in the books of color. Yeah, that's it. I'm right there with you. That's
Because I mean, the way he was talking, the debate, I was like, oh my gosh. I feel so bad for Warnock.
because how do you effectively debate somebody who's is speaking on a kindergarten level? How do you do that? Explain that to me. I'm so glad that Georgia did their thing. This man,
But it was a close race.
it was a close race. I did see that it was a close race. It was not cool that it was a close race. I just did not. I didn't understand what to make of it because they should not have had to have a runoff. That's really ridiculous that they had to have a runoff. But I'm glad that in the end, Georgia made it do what it do.
Well, of course, they started they he won the first election, but it was not in the 50 percentile.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's
They
why
should
they
have
had
had
the
to have a
runoff.
runoff. Yeah, that's how runoffs work. You have to have 50 plus 1% of the vote in order for it not to be a runoff. That was not the case. Yeah, he had more votes, but it was not the 50 plus the 1%. So that's why that didn't happen for him, if you will. Um, so I just wanted to mention that no big deal. Katanji Brown Jackson, y'all finna have to hold my phone. Y'all forgive me because it won't stay and it got to be on the charger. I don't want it to die. Katanji Brown Jackson was the first black woman to be elected, or I'm sorry, selected to sit on the Supreme Court. And that was a very, very, very first of all, it's a long time coming. Let me start with that.
Mhm.
But we were extremely excited as a people, as a culture, because we hadn't had that. But let's talk about this confirmation hearings that they had for her because they asked the dumbest questions. For people to have elected you people to be in office to run the country, y'all asked the stupidest questions ever. And it was it was stupid questions. And she was
They
like,
was trying to trip her up, but I was like, do y'all not realize how smart she really is?
she's smart. She said, well, that has nothing to do with my job. Well, what we're asking, that has nothing to do with my job. My job is to decide.
If whatever case is, it holds the Constitution.
Period. They kept trying to trip her up on abortion. They tried to trip her up on stupid stuff that just didn't make sense. And I was like, why y'all? Explain to me why y'all taking this woman through this unnecessary garbage. Unnecessary. Definitely unnecessary. Um, So shout out to Katanji Brown Jackson. She won. There were some other notable surprises. We did have a lot of the LGBTQ communities members being in office. They got the first lesbian governor. I can't remember what state that was. And one of the states, they have uh, a lot of the Democrats did put a dent in some of the races, but then a lot of Republicans kind of kicked us out of having
Um,
power in the
yeah,
House.
we are not right. We got control over the Senate. We kept control of the Senate. However, we lost control of the House. So this is going to be very interesting.
Extremely
Bec-
interesting.
because what they fail to realize is that if they're trying to block what Joe Biden is trying to do, and you come up with stuff, guess who's going to block what you're trying to do?
The Senate is. It does go back to the House, but if they can't come up with the decision on it, then it eventually goes to the president. He can decide to veto or do whatever he needs to do. As far as that's concerned, um, which is pretty again extremely crazy to me. But that's how those checks and balances work. I was gonna talk about the Oscar slap, but I'm not gonna talk about the Oscar slap. We over it. Uh,
Yeah.
Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. He should be thanking Will. I'm sorry. We don't condone violence. Okay, we don't we don't condone violence at all. Um, but he did increase ticket sales for Chris Rock. Chris Rock had sold out shows after that slap. There's a lot
Oh,
in
don't he got a live show? I mean, doesn't he have a live comedy show on Netflix?
it's
Chris
coming. Yeah,
Rock.
it's coming out. I think soon. He was promoting it. I think I saw somewhere. He's had he's had a show before. Remember that was the
Mhm.
argument that Monique had, that Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle had these millions of dollars uh for their stand-up shows, because Chris Rock had a stand-up show on Netflix a good minute ago. um let's move it on to Shanquella Robinson. Shanquella
Mhm.
Robinson was a young lady who went out of town with her friends. uh there haven't been any updates that I've seen on her case, but she went out of town with her friends on a birthday trip for one of her friends, and ended
That
up
she
getting
paid for.
that she paid for. Ended up getting her butt beat really, really badly, to the point of
Her spine and
her
her neck
neck
broke.
being broken. And they are trying to find details of that situation, and trying to get everybody brought to justice. From my understanding, they did put the order of extradition out for Dejanay Jackson, who was the person that we all saw in the video that went viral. That she was fighting Shanquella. Shanquella was not fighting back. That was posted on an Instagram live post. Um,
But my thing is this: if you intoxicated and you that relaxed, you're not going to be able to fight back like that.
that baby couldn't stand up.
Right.
Okay. And so to me, that's not a fair fight. To me, if you somebody make you that mad that you're gonna beat them up while they drunk, that shows how cowardly you are.
Hmm.
You know, could you really fight the girl had she not been drinking? And then the fact that they have tried so very, very hard to hide things, to sweep things under the rug, it's disheartening, and the family doesn't have answers. That's the other thing that's pissing me off, is that the FBI and the authorities are leaving them in the dark as well. The last interview that I saw, nobody had been arrested. There was a rumor going around saying that Dejanay Jackson was found in Connecticut and that she had been arrested. From my understanding, she has not. She's yet to be arrested. No one has been arrested in that case. Um, and I'm glad that Black Twitter got on top of this and shared the video and and,
Hmm.
and talked about it. A
Because it
lot
happened
of
like in October, and we didn't hear about it until November.
like maybe a week before Thanksgiving. That baby didn't get to come home. Or she came home in a bag, in a casket.
And then the fact that the friends left her there,
They left her there, brought her stuff back, and continued to lie to her family, saying it was alcohol poisoning.
and then try to steal money from her,
Crazy.
allegedly.
Allegedly
Allegedly.
trying, yeah, allegedly trying to steal money from her. I definitely hope that she gets the justice that she needs.
Yeah.
Um, We are definitely praying for her family. And I hope they arrest, lock all of the people that had any involvement in Shaquella's death, lock them up, lock them up, put them under the jail, wherever they need to go. And I'm gonna say this: send them to Mexican prison.
She ain't gonna survive it.
They don't need to do no. They don't need to know American prison. Send them to Mexican prison. That's how I feel. That's where they need to go. Um, Meghan and Harry. Um, definitely. We saw their documentary. A lot of stuff we kind of already knew. There were some things that were brought to light. England, y'all racist, man. Y'all are racist. Y'all are racist. Y'all are racist. Now we already knew this because you was pillaging villages and setting them on fire. For years you had control
Indigenous people, yeah.
the majority of the countries in the world you had control over. People are still celebrating Independence Day, including America, from England. It's ridiculous.
And countries now are saying, we don't want no parts of you.
Period.
We want to break ties with you.
Break ties with England, and absolutely and rightfully so. Um, the fact that they mistreated that girl is ridiculous.
The
They
reason why they mistreated her is because she became more popular than the members of the royal family,
absolutely she did.
like Diana.
But here's the thing though, she was already more popular than them because she was an actress on a big TV show that lasted for 7 seasons. She was already popular, bro.
And like, say for instance, when the Princess of Wales now, Kate,
Mm.
when she was pregnant with her children, she would rub her belly and they would put, oh, look at her. Look at her. She's just glowing, rubbing her belly, rubbing her belly. But when it was Megan, can't she get her hands off of her belly? It was just contradictory. It was just really bad thing, just bad press they was given to her
Let me
constantly.
let me also point this out, and she recognized that this was an issue in the documentary. She said because she never had to directly deal with racism because of the color of her skin, because she does not look like a black girl, although she is black. Her mama is 100% black. And her mom said she didn't raise her this way to be aware of who she was as far as that's concerned. She never experienced racism on the level that you or I would probably experience racism. And she said she became very aware of this being put into this situation. You know what I'm
And
saying?
then, and here's my thing: when they was doing the interview with Oprah Winfrey, and she
Mm-mm.
was talking about how they was making comments on what color, how dark the baby was gonna come out. She is not dark skinned.
She's not. I don't
The
think y'all
baby is
understand how
gonna
she.
have 25% black in him.
Mm-hmm.
How dark do you think he's gonna be?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So, my heart went out to them, and it was a lot of people on there. I mean, a lot of people commenting, talking about how Megan, and I'm just saying this is alleged. Megan is a narcissist. You can tell she wears the pants in the family. You can do this. You can tell this. Harry is in prison. He does. I'm like, no,
Let's talk about
no,
that
no,
real quick.
no, no,
Let's talk about
no.
that real quick. Real quick. Real quick. Harry didn't want no parts of y'all. He know y'all killed his mama. Allegedly. He know y'all killed that man's mama. Allegedly. He know what's up. Harry's been rebelling against the royal family since he was able to rebel. Harry done been caught up in all kinds of stuff. Hey girl, she
Mhm.
said right. That's right, Tanisha
Right.
Lovely. He been caught up in all kinds of scandal way before this.
Right.
Okay.
And it was just really ridiculous because I'm looking at this documentary and I'm just looking at him, looking at her, and you can see it when the Queen of England, when Queen Elizabeth passed, and they were showing them going, greeting the people and stuff. and they was getting into the car. What did you see? You saw William get into the car first, and then Kate.
Mm-hmm.
You see Harry holding Megan's hand, helping her into the car first, then going to the other side and getting in the car. That's day and night right there.
Day and freaking night.
Day and night.
Day and
So
freaking
how is that Megan is narcissistic? How is that she's controlling everything? I'm seeing a man that wants to protect his
his
wife
wife.
at all costs. You are
Period.
not to get away from my sight. I got to make sure you're in your car, you're safe in the car before I get in the car. I can take a bullet for you, honey, because I love you that much.
Mm-hmm.
How is that narcissistic? The math is not mathing.
Well, let's talk about how people in London work real quick, because one of the creators that I follow on TikTok, she explained how it's a difference in London and all other parts of England. They aren't really, if you watch The Crown, you saw how
Mhm.
Elizabeth was so aloof. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
She, there was no hugging when the situation on the episode of The Crown where the school with the landslide happened with the school and those kids and those teachers died. That girl could not muster up a tear to save her life. She couldn't cry.
Oh, and then you remember after Queen Elizabeth, Princess Diana passed, they was on her. Where's your compassion? They
Yeah,
was on Queen Elizabeth.
but
Where is
she
your
ain't never
compassion?
been. She ain't
Right.
never been compassionate. When you rule the world and you done killed and pillaged and did all these things to all these different countries, how can you have a heart? How? How? You can't. So their attitude, they're not touchy feely, they're not real, loving. That's something that they don't. I don't think that they exhibit. Harry is different because Harry is in love and he knows the difference because his mom made sure she hugged them. She made
Mhm.
sure she showed them love. His mom
Mhm.
was awesome with them. You could say what you want to about Princess Diana, but she was a good mom
Mhm.
to her kids.
Always protective over them and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she
So
knew and she knew that William was in a place where, okay, he's gonna be taken care of because he's gonna be the future king.
right,
I need to protect my son Harry.
yeah,
And that's why she left him that money.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But the documentary, I think it was well documented.
it
You
was
really heard their side of the story.
absolutely.
And I don't know what else the royal family can say, because I
I ain't
think
say they
all
lying.
in all, even though you do not make the laws anymore. You're just there for just basically for show,
Pump and
just to
circumstance.
say
That's it.
we got a queen, because actually, prime minister makes all,
The
and
parliament
the
actually makes
parliament.
the law, and it's
Right,
been like that for a while.
right.
Yeah,
However, you as in a member of the royal family could have had control over the institution. You could
absolutely.
have had control over the institution. And I
They
said that in quotation.
his dad, his dad's secretary, somebody from his dad's team leaked that email that he sent to his dad, and I think that's what hurt him the most. That's what hurt him the most. Okay, it's a couple of these things. Derek Jackson, him and his wife got divorced. Blah blah blah. Johnny Depp is Amber
Girl.
Heard. Blah blah blah. I want to talk about the best man final chapters. Maybe that could be our first episode for the new year for its own. Let's
Yeah,
talk
let's wait for
about
that.
this trial for Daystar Peterson real quick. I have reserved my comments because I knew we were doing this. I saw the verdict. I saw everything. The evidence is coming out. The
I don't
recording,
know what you're talking about.
huh?
I
Tory
don't know what you
Lane's trial.
I wasn't following that, girl. But yeah, you can talk about it.
I was, but he shot Megan Thee Stallion. We know he shot Megan. The trial, I was following it. I've seen all the testimony, the videos. I saw all of the bloggers. I saw all people who got their law degrees from Law and Order SVU and uh that sort of thing. Um and and how they said she was a man, absolutely. Tanisha Lovely, yes. How they said she was a man, all of these things. Let me say this. Uh and I'm gonna make this completely clear. From day one, I knew that man shot that girl. That man has had a problem. He already had gun charges. He was already on probation for gun charges. Violent, beat his baby mama. Don't know how to protect women at all. He's a little troll. That's what he is. And I'm not gonna call him Tory. I'm gonna call him Daystar because that's your government name. Daystar needs to be deported. They found him guilty. I'm very, very, and a lot of people are still trying to say it's a conspiracy theory. Let me tell you about this boy daddy real quick. I see where you get it from. Your dad is ridiculous. His daddy was saying that the reason why is because Rock Nation did all of this. They because he didn't want to sign with Rock Nation, they coming against him real hard with this Megan Thee Stallion thing. Your son shot the gun, sir. It was your son's gun.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, no, it was proven in court that it was his son. It was his thank you, Tanisha Lovely. It was his that was his gun. It was his
Mm-hmm.
gun. Fingerprints was on it. Let me tell you, they were like, they didn't find the DNA on the gun. They did find his fingerprints on the gun. They did
Mm-hmm.
not find his fingerprints on the magazine. The reason why is because it was too many fingerprints on the magazine. Okay. Too many fingerprints on the magazine. So the DNA was inconclusive. That's what inconclusive means. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So not only was it inconclusive because there were too many hands that was on the magazine, you have Kelsey who
Mm-hmm.
witnessed that uh this man shot Megan. You have
Right.
the person that lived that saw it from afar from his balcony of his home where he saw
Right.
where Tori shot Megan. You
Mm-hmm.
you see that. Now,
Right.
after hearing Kelsey's testimony to the DA or the recording of her account of what happened to the DA's office, okay? Um, I'm going to say this, and I'm a diehard Megan Thee Stallion fan, and y'all know how I am when I'm a fan of somebody. I can admit when somebody is wrong, right or
Mm-hmm.
indifferent. Like I said earlier, I love Nene Leakes, but when she wrong, I say when Nene was wrong. Kelsey, that and let me say this: I think that his Daystar's people, his publicists, and all those people were putting out narratives and stories and linking them to the blogs. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, they tried to say that Kelsey shot Megan. Megan
Mm-hmm.
hadn't even said anybody had got shot yet. She had come out with it. She said, "Hey, it was some glass." The doctor was like, "Girl, stop." It was some glass in my foot. I got some glass in my foot. We was arguing. It was a mess. I got out the car, stepped on some glass. That's what happened. The doctor said, "Nah, girl, that ain't no glass. Some gunshot wounds." Okay. Um. Not only that, uh, people saw you. So when Kelsey was giving her account of what happened, Kelsey said, "I'm upset with Megan because Megan didn't protect me." Megan didn't say Kelsey didn't. These people are saying Kelsey shot. Now Megan did say, let me say this in Megan's defense. When she did come out and say was Tory Lane shot me. She said that on her live video. But Kelsey didn't feel protected. So Kelsey's mad at Megan. She also felt like Megan left her out to dry. And I believe that. I believe she felt that way. I also did not agree with the fact that she still kept in contact with Tory Lane. She did. He tried to give her money. She admitted to that. He wanted to invest in the business because he wanted folks to keep quiet about it, right? And then this man called this girl from the jail to apologize. To apologize. What you
Mm-hmm.
apologizing for if you ain't guilty? Parading this child around for the trial. They spilled the narrative of this woman saying that she was sleeping with this person, sleeping with that word person, sleeping with that person. to throw the jury off their game. I don't care who she slept with. That I had nothing to do with that man shooting her. Period. He shot her. He did it.
Yeah.
I pray that they sentence him to the 20 years that he's facing. And I pray that after the 20 years, he gets deported to Canada. And that's that on that. That's how I feel. Anybody who don't agree with that, y'all come up with your conspiracy theories or whatever. Was Megan wrong for how she dealt with Kelsey? Absolutely. But now the eyewitness said that Kelsey shot at Megan is what the eyewitness said. I don't know how much of that is true or not because they said that Kelsey and Megan did get into an altercation and a fight. So now here's my thing. If you shoot at me, we ain't friends no more. So if in fact the eyewitness testimony was correct, then Kelsey, you know what you did, and y'all don't need to be friends.
Right.
If you got to shoot at me, and I know ain't no reason why. Now that's alleged because that was a testimony of the eyewitness. Said he saw a woman shoot at another woman. He saw 3 people jump on the other woman. He saw that. Okay. At the end of the day, I hope that everybody involved gets help. What they start needs to be locked up. But I hope that Megan and Kelsey both get help. Megan is mentally, I know that has to be jarring, and she doesn't trust people. She's alone in this world, now trying to navigate this celebrity thing, try to navigate this music thing by herself. Her mom, her grandma are gone. I think her dad is gone as well. She's alone. She's 20 something, 26 years old, 26, 27 years old. I think maybe now 26, 25, 26 years old, trying to navigate this world by herself. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this now. If you are following me and you are for Daystar Peterson, unfollow me right now. I don't want you following me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want you following me because
Oh,
I'm
darn it. So you want
lock
me to unfollow you?
right. Lock him up. Lock him up, throw away the key, throw him under the jail. That's how I feel. There is no way on God's green earth. And both black women in this instance was not protected at all. Period. Neither one of the black women in this situation were protected. Period. Period. They weren't. So I hope that they can come to some resolution. They're not friends now, but I hope that they need to realize that that man played both of them because there's no way on God's green earth that Megan was spreading those rumors that she shot her because Megan knew she didn't shoot her. So it's no way. Now, I do believe Kelsey took that money from that boy. I believe he did. I believe she took that money. Because there's no way on God's green earth, if I'm telling the truth, I done went to the prosecutors and said, hey, me and her we don't kick it no more. We ain't friends no more. We ain't partners. We ain't boys. Okay, we don't hang out no more. There is no way on God's green earth that I'm gonna get on the stand and not say nothing. Because that's what she did. She got on that stand and wanted to plead the fifth the whole time.
Mm.
What you pleading the fifth for? We already got you tape. We got you on tape.
Mm.
And for those who saying that it's a conspiracy theory with him, that they have the recorded. What people don't realize is that when you call from jail, they record all them calls. All of those calls are recorded. So, with that being said, the calls were recorded. Guess what? You actually sealed your fate in the beginning. Period. I had a couple other things on here. Nick Cannon had his 12th child. Uh, they are saying that they're going to bring charges against Trump. They need to.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, but did you see that they released his tax returns for the past some odd years?
Yeah, we done paid more taxes than Donald Trump did.
He didn't
That's
put that. He didn't make no kind of money.
$750 in taxes one year and didn't pay no taxes in 2020.
I
None.
was, I was like, this dude That's why he was so hell bent on not showing us his returns.
Listen,
Because he
I
was
think
claiming he didn't make no kind of money.
I think taxes are a scam. Let me say that right now. I want his accountants. Look, we pay taxes and therefore Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security and all those things. And a lot of the things that we need, like roads and streets and all that good stuff, and they take our tax money, they're supposed to appropriate it towards certain things. Uh, I have a problem with that. And the reason why I have a problem with that is because guess what? Y'all appropriate my tax dollars for nothing because my tax dollars, I got potholes bigger than my car that I have to duck and dodge in my city. Okay. And in multiple cities all over the country, they got the same problem. Where that money going to? That's all I'm saying. That is all I am saying. That's all I'm saying. Um, so we are a little bit under an hour and a half before the new year come in. I am super excited about that. I hope you guys have your loved ones. Maybe next year we'll do this a little later. I think we need to do this on New Year's Eve every year. I think, if unless we got plans, but I feel like this will be good, even if we do a pre-recorded show and post it. I'm super excited. Thank you guys for tuning in over on TikTok. Thanks for everybody that's on YouTube and Facebook. We appreciate you. This was our very first live on TikTok. We're super excited. Make sure you guys go because we won't be doing lives. We'll be going live occasionally on here. I'll be going live from my personal page. Wendy will be going live from her personal page. As y'all see, go follow VLux76. Also follow me at Big Ski is Faith over here on TikTok. Make sure that you guys are following our YouTube page, the Size Up Official Podcast. Like that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we go live. And you can get caught up on our episodes. We have plenty of them to get caught up on over there on the YouTube. And definitely make sure that y'all are tuning in and follow us. Follow us, follow us, follow us, and we're gonna follow y'all back.
Right?
We're super excited. This is our first live, and I'm excited, excited, excited. I hope you guys have a very, very new year. One thing I
Hold
want to leave y'all with.
hold on. Let me say this
Mhm.
about this follow trend.
Yes.
Okay. So following back is at our discretion. I know at my discretion because number one, if you follow me and you have no content, but you have a whole bunch of followers, it
Let
looks
me
suspect.
let me say this. I'm going.
How
I'm finna go back because I'm gonna go
oh,
back on it. And the reason why I had to think about that is for a while. Well, my child has content on my page. If y'all see a little boy on my page doing little crazy TikTok dances, that's how I got a TikTok account. I did not get my own TikTok account. My child had
right.
their own
And
to
you know
create.
what? I even follow those that don't have content but have very little following.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Okay, you
Uh-huh.
can't have 10,000 followers and no content.
I got you because you think that's a bot type of situation, maybe.
Right.
Okay, okay.
Also, if you don't have a profile pic in the profile
Yeah,
name, if it
yeah.
says user such and such and such, I'm not going to follow you.
Well, now some of the ones that have users such and such and such, they have the profile pics. I am following them.
Right,
Like
right,
they got
right,
content and stuff on their page.
right,
They
right,
probably hadn't gone to change their name or whatever. So I am following
right.
them.
That I am following them too. Also, I do follow the accounts that says private, but it's at my discretion because you want us to follow you, but you want to keep your account private.
Um,
And it
I
was this
still
one.
follow those.
It was one lady on there. She was like, "Look, I'm just on this following because everybody else on here. I'm not planning on doing any content." And I
Because
had to.
let me say this. I agree because a lot of people don't know how to. I don't understand TikTok. I'm learning, right? So I literally don't understand how it works. I'm learning it. I don't know how to do no TikTok dances, none of that, right? So I
I
didn't
don't do
have
TikTok
again
dances.
the content that was on here initially was from my baby. Like I said, I didn't have any personal content on here. I just started putting content on when I started doing my bartending. By the way, if y'all are in the Memphis or surrounding areas and y'all need a bartender for your parties, starting in mid January, I will be taking taking appointments, not appointments. I will be taking bookings because I am still in the bed right now, but I will be booking my services. If you need a bartender for an event, definitely hit me up, DM me here on TikTok, hit me up on Facebook if Vixkia's Faith More, or Instagram at Vixkia's Faith. At any rate, when I started doing my bartending thing, I said, well, maybe this is some of the content that I could do. I thought about our podcast, and of course, we're actually gonna get a TikTok for our podcast page. We're working on getting that together now so that y'all can see some of the content and snippets of our content, and you can go over to our page and absolutely like everything that we got going on over there so that you can listen to the whole episodes. But for the most part, I use my TikTok just to watch other TikToks, and I might repost. And what I'm learning is you don't see the repost on your main page. So if you go to somebody's page to see it, you're not gonna see the repost unless and I don't and I, if I'm not mistaken, the way that it looks, I don't know if you can go look at the repost. I had to go look for my repost because I repost a lot of things on TikTok as well, but I didn't have any content of my own until recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not even discriminating against that. But if it totally looks like a bot account where it's a whole bunch of followers and you don't have anything, no picture, no nothing, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Even for the people who don't, because I want everybody to hear, I want you to see my content. Maybe you'll book me. Maybe they'll buy some makeup from you if they don't have any content. Because a lot of people don't, especially the older people, they don't know how to use this TikTok thing. I don't. I'm learning. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not discriminate against that. I do know that a lot of people are not following back. I do know that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely encourage people to definitely follow back because there are a lot of people that haven't gotten 10,000 followers. I don't have 10,000 followers yet. I think, like I said, I was like mid 1800s when I first started the live video while Wendy was coming on. But it's helpful because I'm able to go live on here, and I'm very grateful
Mm-hmm.
for that. And I'm definitely gonna be using TikTok this upcoming year to my advantage. Y'all see
Yes.
the little avatar I got in the background. I didn't understand what I just did, but at any rate, um, so I definitely want us to make sure that we are definitely following. There are some people getting unfollowed because I don't even know how to go unfollow folk. You see how
Oh,
I
all
am.
you do is when you unfollow folks where it has a check mark, if you go on their profile and it has a check mark that you're following them, just
I ain't
hit
going.
that check.
I ain't going through all
Huh?
that. I ain't going through
That's
all
what
that.
that's how you unfollow though.
So you have to go to their profile to unfollow them. Yeah, I ain't
Uh-huh.
going through all that. It's too much. Um.
And
So
you can basically just check to see who you're following to check to see if they're following you. Because if what y'all following each other is gonna say send message or say hi or something like that.
because I find that I am following more people than are following me. I am finding that, and I do
And to
think
be
that that's unfair because if we are doing it, and I know that a lot of people. Then let me also say this, and it's another thing that I also want to mention too. But let me say this: on the follow train, right? Um, there are people who are being put in TikTok jail. I've been put in TikTok jail a couple of times, but I always make sure I go back and check the people who are following me, and where it says follow back, I am checking those out. And I'm checking those out so that I can go back and be a woman of my word and follow those
Mhm.
people back who did take the time to follow me, right? So I'm making sure that that's done and that I do that. But I want to make sure that people are aware of that. Make sure you do go back and it's I think it's up to 200 people a day. I feel like it's a little more than that once you get to a certain amount because I feel like I was able to follow a few more people since I've gotten over 1,000. Um,
Right.
so I
But,
don't know if that's true or not, but
and
make
then
sure
also,
y'all yourselves with the follow backs as well.
and I want to also add to this, we are not saying we're only following black people, black girls. Because
No,
I'm following anybody. If I like your content, guess what? I'm following you.
absolutely. But this
How
Black Girl Train is for us to support one another.
right.
A lot of Black creators do not get their just due. There are a lot of creators of other races that are getting more money. They're getting monetized quicker. A lot of times, a lot of the dances, the TikTok dances, I'm gonna use that for an example. A lot of the TikTok dances that have been created, they've been made popular by white creators or other creators, and they're getting a lot more dings on their content. So basically what we're doing is trying to support one another, and a lot of us have businesses, a lot of us are small business owners, and because of that we want people to buy our products, and in order to get that product in front of other people, that's helping us to gain more customers. And if you are a advocate of what we are doing, follow us, we'll follow you back, share our content,
Right.
do that. But I'm not for the mayonnaise tears, I'm not for the crybaby tears because you feel like somebody left you out. Either you gonna follow us or you not. Don't do that. Don't try to call racism because there's no way. Let me also say this. I believe that there are some things that are going awry because I've had to cancel my debit card, and I don't even know how TikTok got my debit card information, but my debit card was being charged by TikTok. I don't know if it's because of the follow back thing or what, because I wasn't getting charged before then. I watch live videos, but I never spend anything because I know that costs money. Money that I don't have because again, I ain't been to work because I've been on bed rest and surgery. But they were charging me a whole bunch, and they charged me again. And so with that, I decided what I was going to do was that I was going to get a whole nother debit card. They blocked TikTok from my account. Make sure you're checking your accounts, ladies. Check your checking accounts, your debit cards, your credit cards, whatever you have linked to your Google Play account, whatever you have linked to your Apple, whatever y'all store is account. Make sure you go and check and make sure that none of those cards or none of those accounts are being charged from TikTok, because they did say that that's a fraud situation. So that happened to me, and all I'm doing is following people. I ain't sending no gifts, no tokens, or nothing because I don't have the money for that right now. I do plan to definitely support tokens and the gifts and all that stuff, but I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. So make sure y'all check out your accounts as well too. I'm gonna make a separate TikTok video about that experience that I had. Um, but make sure you guys are definitely following. If people are following you, make sure you go and do the follow back. If you're in TikTok jail, as soon as you get out, I hit up my follow backs first before I go and follow anybody else new, just to kind of keep it fair for everybody involved. That way, because I know people actually have following me because I've asked them to, I'm gonna go and go ahead and do the same, and then I go and follow the new people after that. So that might help somebody if you're confused about what's going on or you want to have a pattern. That's the way I've been doing it, making sure that I'm able to go and follow back. But that's all we got for y'all. Wendy, did you have anything else?
Hold on. Nope. That's it.
So happy New Year, you guys. We got a little more than an hour, 9 minutes to go before we ring in the new year of 2023. Thank you guys for joining the Pajama Jam. We hope to do another live again soon, but make sure you're following us so that you can follow our content. Thank you guys for joining us. We out. Bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for joining us.